Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to be getting into this video right away. So what do we see in the charts right now? Well, I'm going to be showing you guys why Bitcoin is most likely going to break down. We kind of had confirmation of it, but every time we see this EMA, right? Let me turn off my phone ringer real quick. But every time we see this EMA 20, 50, and 200, right? You guys can go plug this into TradingView, look at this. But what are we seeing, right? So yellow lines, 20 EMA, EMA 50 is the red line, EMA 200 is the green line. Every time that we see this green line come below and then cross over these two, we see a dump, right? We see a dump. We've seen it happen multiple times. There's been times where it's been really close and we haven't had a dump, but we kind of had confirmation that it's already broke, right? We're probably going to have some sort of dump. Right there it happened, right? Didn't happen over here because it didn't fully cross. And if it comes, it has to come from underneath, right? We had it happen here. We had a dump. Let's just measure out what these are. That was 11% dump that we had, right? This was a, let's go down to here. This was a 6% dump, right? And let's go all the way up here. When this happened, this was around a 7% dump. So probably could have a 6 to 7% dump, but that's just with the EMA. You can't always judge EMA, but this has been very accurate in the past. So expect some sort of sell-off, all right? From an analytical standpoint, from an unemotional, unattached standpoint, probably going to have some sort of sell-off, right? Let's be honest. Most likely looking like it. We did have that sell-off last night. We bounced off of 34,500, kind of where we had some resistance. We wicked to it, and we bounced right back up. I wasn't awake then, but you guys want to know what? I had my buy orders in at 34,500. Was able to get some great stuff going there. But let's get into my other BTC chart, right? Don't get scared. Don't get confused. I know there's a lot of indicators on here. But what is this showing me, right? We're going to go on the lower time frame, right? So we are in this downtrend, right? We are in some sort of downtrend right now. We broke through this downtrend quite a little bit. But I see Bitcoin kind of testing these levels right here, and then probably bouncing back down, and we're probably going to see this drop later in the day. This is just with the current supports we have. We're just making lower lows. We do have a lot of selling pressure up here as well. And looking at indicators, right, we do have some upwards momentum, but it is kind of shifting towards the downside. But I do see some sort of dip happening today or tomorrow with Bitcoin. Bloody Sunday, is Bitcoin going to break down? Are we going to be dancing on this channel, right? Probably. I do see that as a very good possibility. But let's get into this chart. Try not to confuse the hell out of you guys. I know that's a really confusing chart. I will have you guys all learn how to use these indicators. You guys are like, no, these indicators don't work. They don't work, man. I promise they don't work. I will teach you guys how to use indicators, how you can kind of guess some sort of swing in momentum. But I'm going to chart out Bitcoin for you guys, right? So we had this trend right here. Right, this was the uptrend that we saw. This is trend support. Why is this trend support? Because this is supporting. We have 1 support, 2 support, 3 support, right? 3 times it touched, 4 times it touched, broke through a little bit. And what happens when this support, right, gets broke? What does it turn into? Turns into resistance. Why does that happen, right? Because it joins the dark side, right, where it fell through. So you guys can kind of draw this line out and look at it went from a support to over here. It's a resistance now. Like look how Bitcoin was bouncing off of this, couldn't break through. We had a lot of resistance around this level. It broke through a few times, couldn't hold it. But that's just an example of that, right? And this is our trend resistance from up here, right? This is our trend resistance from up here. We broke down in the wedge, right? This was the wedge that we had going on. We broke down out of it, so we're probably going to see some downside, right? But we have to change up this entire graph, because this is the trend support right now, right? This is the trend resistance. This kind of got broken through as well. So we kind of got to make a new sort of graph, right? Which will look along the lines of some sort of downward momentum like this. I see this being somewhat of how we are in this channel right here, where we're going to be having this green line down here. I'm going to change it green. This is our trend support, right? This is our trend support right here. This is our trend resistance. We're in this downtrend instead of in this uptrend, right? You guys see how that changes? Yes, we still have this. We're in a downtrend instead of an uptrend. Guys, okay, don't worry about that, right? So we had this upwards momentum on the downside, right? This was our trend support, was showing upwards momentum, but our trend resistance was showing downwards momentum. So it was making a triangle right here, which is called a wedge. It's got to break out or break down either way. And we ended up breaking down to the downside. And now we have formed this new channel, right? Where we have this trend resistance is our top right here. But now we're making these lower lows. Look at this is a higher low from here, right? This low right here, where my pointer is higher, is lower than this one. So this is a higher low, right? And then this low right here is higher than this one. So this makes it a lower low. You guys see these lower lows? When we have a lower low, it's showing a downwards momentum, right? Because this right here, I guess if you look at it like this way, this one's going to be lower, right? The second low is going to be lower, and that shows a downward swing in momentum. So now that we know that we're in a downtrend, probably going to be looking bearish, right? It's probably going to be looking bearish. I see the possibility of around, let me go into this chart, show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. Where do I see Bitcoin going towards? I know it's pretty confusing. I will be doing tutorial videos and having you guys understand these indicators. These all help me trade, and these are just the start of them, right? These give me a lot of indicators on when to buy, when to sell. You guys are like, whoa, no, they don't. Indicators are fake. Indicators don't work. Guys, they've been using indicators for over 40 years, right? This is what market makers use. They understand all of these indicators. And if you guys want to be better traders, don't listen to people who say indicators are fake, right? Understanding indicators can be very, very important and pivotal in your time trading. I can promise you that because you are going to understand when we break market structure, where these are correlating, and how to really use them to your advantage. We will get into that. I promise you that. But I see this this 35 to the 33K zone, mainly this 33 to 34K zone is probably where we're going to dip into. If we break through to this zone, we probably have this 31K that we're going to bounce off of. And I kind of see that panning out. We have a lot of support there. We could obviously drop through that, but we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see about that. As you can see right here, we had this uptrend, right? What happened when we broke this uptrend? Let's zoom in on this 1 hour. Let's go to the 15. Really zoom in on this uptrend. I could take off the EMAs as well. EMAs show that we're most likely going to push down. We've done it every single time. Come on, guys. Let's be TA analytical, right? TA does work, right? So look at the support turned into resistance right here, right? The support turned into resistance, right? We broke through the support. What did it turn into? Resistance, right? We're going to test it, right? We test it always, and then we break through, right? The support right here turned into resistance, and we broke through, right? So we saw that happen, and now we're just kind of on this downtrend, kind of hanging on for dear life right now. Probably going to get smacked around today. That's just a little prediction. I know that's kind of off topic saying it's going to get smacked down, but it's kind of looking like that. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get you guys some of the best knowledge you can. I'm going to do some tutorial videos today as well. Let me draw this box where I think we're bouncing off of, and I'm going to tell you guys why I think we're going to have some support there, and why I think we're dropping below it, right? Could happen today, could happen tomorrow, but just where the trend's pointing, right? This doesn't mean, oh, it's going to exactly happen today, right? This is just what the charts are showing me, and, you know, I try and talk to the charts a little bit, look at them quite often as they are pretty damn accurate, guys, pretty damn accurate. So we have this support right here, right? You guys see this bounce from right here. Let's go back on the 45-minute schedule. We have that bounce on support right there. We have some right here, right? You guys see all this support that's kind of around this area, this 33, 34-ish K area. Yeah, I see us probably coming down to there, right? But we also have to take into consideration this support around 34,500. We kind of already touched that right here. Basically, this 34,500 zone was already touched. We have to retest it again and then break through it, right? What happens? We normally test something and then we break through it, right? We have to test it twice. Why is it like this? I don't know, guys. It's just how charts work a lot. Trying to make it as simple as possible, but normally, let's say we want to break out of something, right? We'll test it once and then we'll break out of it the second time. This time we didn't, so we know we were breaking down, but normally we'll test it once and then we'll break out the second time. You guys need to see that first test unless there's a lot of volatility. Look at, we test it once, we test it again, we break down because we didn't have enough momentum to swing through, right? So this is kind of where I see Bitcoin going. What does this mean, right? What does this mean? I'm not saying this is 100%. TA is never 100%, guys. Never, ever, ever 100%. But the 100% indicator that I was talking about was when we have on the 30-minute time frame these EMAs cross right here. This is 100% success rate, 100% success rate, right? When we go underneath and we have this 200 EMA go above the 50 and the 20 EMA, we have a breakdown with Bitcoin around 6 to 5%, which if we take this, right, around 6 to 5%. So that's where I'm getting these numbers from, not really pulling these from anywhere. We've circled them, we've looked back in the past, we've back tested. That's where we probably see Bitcoin going. Yeah, maybe El Salvador can save the day today. We'll have to see if they can, right? So let's get into some of these altcoins, right? We'll look at Bitcoin once more. It's not looking too healthy on these indicators as well. This is on the 30-minute. We look like we're retracing downwards. But let's get into some altcoins, right? Go over Matic. I would suggest setting some stop losses on your altcoins, right? Because if we do break down, right, then you guys will be covered on your altcoins and you'll have some better buying opportunities once we do break down. I'm not saying that we're for sure going to keep this support here, right? Because we could always push through this 33, 34K support and rocket on the way down too, right? But I do see us possibly having a little push up, right? We're not going to have this big of a rocket. The rocket will probably be like this big. We'll probably, you know, bounce up maybe to like 30, 34-ish if we do. We'll have to see how the market momentum swings because we do have some support around here. We do have some support around here. We have some support there. These are resistance also. So we could, in my opinion, these 4 levels right here, this is kind of the range that if we drop into this, we're going to be in this range, right? These are supports, right? If we break through these supports down here, all the way down at 32,500, we're probably going to go down, right? Because when you break through this support, right, it's you bounce, right? You break, then you go boom. It's kind of what we're seeing right now, right? So we bounce, we break, bounce. Probably not going to be that large of a bounce though, because we do have a lot of support levels on the upside, or resistance levels. Resistance is you trying to break out, right? Support is you trying to break down, right? So I always mix those up because I'm not used to talking about them so much on camera. So forgive me, but support, resistance, I'll change the colors so you guys understand, right? But these are still supports until they get broken through, right? And then they turn into resistance like we talked about. All right, let's get into Matic though. So what did we say with Matic? Yeah, we said there were some good buying orders on them at 116. I recorded that video a day ago, and I specifically said in the video, be very careful. Charts do change. I'll try and update you guys on these. But my suggestion right now is we see some bearishness. Set a very, very tight stop loss underneath these wicks, right? Underneath these wicks that we see here on the 30-minute. Probably set some stop loss right around here, right? Right around 0.25. And then if we do break out, let's say to this 130 level, I'd be taking profits. Let's just say we bought at 1.8. That could be around a 10% profit, which is pretty damn good for a long or a short, or not a long, but just a buy order on spot, right? Pretty good profits on Matic. We're going to Solana. I believe this one was around 36 that I said, so you guys could be in profit. I'm pretty sure I gave you lower buying orders as well. Maybe you're up a couple percent on that one, but Solana lost its momentum. I was expecting a larger bounce upwards. We did get a bounce though. We did get a bounce for sure. We're almost at the flash crash levels. Let's actually go to the flash crash levels. No, we're not even anywhere near it. But yeah, that being said, sorry about mixing it up, but I do see Solana as a good coin to short. If we do have a dip, a large dip, Solana is a little bit overbought. ETH killer narrative comes around every single bull run. And with these coins that are nicknamed ETH killer, that have a lot of hype and a lot of news around them, they need revenue, they need products, they need clients, they need more money flowing into Solana, right? We saw this volume build up on Solana kind of dying out. We saw a little pullback. I know I hate to tell you guys that I told you to buy this coin. I'm telling you to short it the next day. But we'll have to see. I'll give you guys some levels to short on Solana. Still at least probably made a % or so off that. Making a percentage to a day is awesome, guys. In a market like this, it's great to be profitable, right? But let's see if we push up with Solana. These would be somewhat of my shorting levels. I'm actually going to move these up a little bit. We'll have to see, though. You guys need to set tight stop losses around, I would say, 1 to 2%. How do you guys figure this out, right? How do you figure out these tight stop losses? Well, let's say you're shorting, right? You guys come to TradingView. You click this short position, and you click the box, right? So you guys are going to be figuring out how much % do I want to risk, right? And you can move this down, let's say, to 1%, and you want to get 6%. right? That's a 6-to-1 or 6-to-4 risk reward ratio. You guys want to be trading with a very, very high risk reward, meaning you could lose 6 trades. All you got to do is win 1 and you're profitable because it's actually 6.43. So that's a great thing for you guys to use, right? You guys could do this on the short or the long, right? Let's say you guys put your buy orders here. Your stop loss was around, let's say, like 1-2%, and you're going for this target up here. You're going for a, what is this, 2-to-7 ratio or 2.7 ratio, meaning that you can basically 1 for 3 on trades, 3-to-1 risk. But yeah, make sure to use these tools, and I would say set your stop losses, guys, so you at least have a 4-to-1 to 5-to-1 ratio on these shorts, right? You guys just don't want to be randomly trading, right? You guys want to know your RR, your risk, your reward ratio. It will help you become a better trader. Imagine you can win 6 trades, or you could lose 1 trade, or you have to win 1 trade to win 6, or you have to win 1 trade to make up for the 5 losses if you have a 1-to-6. Sorry, I got a little confused there with saying that out loud again. But yeah, Matic also is I still see it as there's still a lot of FOMO effect, but not as much as Solana. So we'll probably see Matic do some stuff, guys. Look at this T-Fuel short that we had. T-Fuel got dominated by Bitcoin, by the way, guys. Look at this. What is this? 39-40% in 3 days. That's pretty sad to see, guys. Like I said, hype factor sets in. What happens when hype sets in, guys? Shit goes up 100%, and then what happens? Mountain goes down, right? Because we're in the bear markets as of right now. When we're in the bear markets, these pumps, they fall, and if you guys look at a 6-month, 6 to 3 month, I would say 6 to 4 month time frame, you're going to see a graph that looks like this, and it's like this, right? Because the mountain comes up, and then the mountain goes down, right? They're a little bit overvalued. If these things had product, they had revenue, they had clients, I would say, yeah, this isn't right. This isn't fair. But you guys go look into your cryptos that you're like, they have products, expert. They have products. I promise. And then make sure to like the video and come back after you find out that they have no products. They have no revenue. They have no clients. I'm not saying all of them do, right? I'm just saying a lot of them that people will bandwagon, people will love all the time. They don't. Yeah, look at these KSM shorts also. KSM short was very, very profitable that we had on this channel. It's kind of pushed up a little bit, but still see this as a little bit overvalued. I still see around a 437 short or around a 461 shorts. The parachain auctions, which is KSM, is what KSM is doing, guys. You have to understand, all right? So parachain auctions, they're these IDO allocations, and basically what it is, right? Very important you understand this. I'm not trying to speak down you, but what they are is, right, you have a bunch of people enter in this auction, you get tickets, and it's a little bit of a gamble, right? But you want to know what happens? These people who win these auctions, right, you're throwing in $100, everyone's throwing in $100, they're only going to give away 10 winning tickets or 20, and there's 1,000 people that are participating, 10,000, whatever it might be. Only 10 people win, so there's a big gamble right there. But what they're going to give you is these allocations at, let's say, 100x what the token's being released at, right? So it's going to be 100x let's say your $100, right? But you have around a 0.0001 risk to reward ratio, right? But yeah, so that's basically how they work. And what happens is there's people who get these allocations before you even can, and they get them at a lower price. So they're already up 250x because they're these private investors that shill these IDO auctions or these KSM parachain auctions, right? So people think this is a big deal, but in reality what it is these 250x guys, right? These people were already up 250x. They didn't even need to do an auction because they were on the private sale. Right, they were on the private sale or they were part of the seed rounds, right? They're already up 250x just with investment money. And then this is where you're at, right? And then there's these people who buy on these IDOs exchanges who are up 0x. And wonder what they're doing? They're just boosting these people who are already up this much, and then they get dumped on, right? That's what happens, and that's what the parachain auction thing is. Yes, it can be big, but I just see it as like they should just release parachains, man. They don't have to do the auction thing. Like it's just a thing that will make some people a lot of money, and it's mainly targeted towards these larger investors, not these smaller ones, right? It gives no incentive just besides gambling, right? And kind of screwing over the smaller investor. That's my opinion. So I want to see KSM go down, guys. It's kind of making me mad. But yeah, do think that these are good levels. Think that this is a little bit overvalued. It's the shill effect that has happened on KSM. I've been trading KSM off of social activity. I do love its social activity, but I don't like that part of it. I figured that we would talk about that today. Hopefully you guys understood that. A little confusing. Just don't participate in any sort of auctions. Just do some trades and do some reading about them, and maybe you'll understand how corrupt they are. Right? So these are probably some short levels on KSM if we do reach there. I think it's a little bit overvalued, guys. A little bit overvalued in my opinion. I think it should be around 300. Would be a fair price in the next week or so. All right, so Ethereum, we'll go into Ethereum. All right, yeah, we went over how Bitcoin's looking a little bit bearish today, right? How's Ethereum looking? Well, these altcoins, guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, but all right. But these altcoins kind of do the same thing what Bitcoin's doing, right? So if Bitcoin is looking bearish, so is Ethereum, right? Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, which is great to see, but it's still going to be a little bit bearish now because Bitcoin's looking a little bit bearish now. And one thing that Ethereum did is they delayed their largest event of the year, which I did not know about until a few days ago because it got released. But they delayed their releasing of the ETH layer 2, or no, the Ethereum 2, and I believe EIP as well. So since that got delayed, we're probably going to see a little bit of a sell-off. Not sure how long it's going to be delayed. I've heard a year, I've heard 6 months, I've heard 2 months, I've heard a month. But still, people are probably going to sell off because they don't want to wait anymore, and a lot of people know about the ETH news. So we'll see how that pans out. I do see it going down probably a lot, considering the fact that it got delayed and people might sell off. But I still see this as a great buying opportunity once we get into the lower levels. I'm not going to say short Ethereum just because there's other coins that are a lot more overpriced than Ethereum. I wouldn't say Ethereum's that overpriced. It's probably one of the best cryptos that you guys can acquire on the fundamental side of things. So I do see Ethereum definitely looking like some great buying opportunities. I'll let you guys know, but we'll get under around $1,500. I'll tell you guys that. Just be patient. I promise. You're like, whoa, $1,500, expert. Guys, historical Snapchats one time again. Let's go back into Bitcoin was at 16K, right? January 7, 2018, less than 1 month. What happened? Price got cut in half. Ethereum got to $800. It was at around $1,100. Then we go back 6 months from then, right? Or around 10 months from then, right? We see Ethereum at $85, guys. $85. Look at that, right? So you see what happens in a bear market, a very bad bear market. This is what happens, guys. So if we do have some sort of bad bear market, Ethereum could be at, $500. Seriously, it's something to think about, something to consider. Not a lot of these cryptos, right? We've talked about it. Not a lot of these cryptos have use case or have more revenue than they did in 2017, yet they're 10x what they were, right? How is something that has no revenue, that has no use case, really? Yeah, it has use case, but it's not being used. They don't have clients. How are they 10x more than what they were in 2017, right? At their peak. And you still think that they're going to not come down a lot? I don't know. They probably will. It's just speculation, right? We're just speculating a little bit. But I'm just saying, keep your eye out on that. Bear markets do happen, but I do see Ethereum as a great thing to scoop up. Just be patient on it. We'll be following it, tracking it on this channel. We're very honest and open on this channel. Just kind of spitballing ideas and some sort of different opinions that you guys don't hear too much. But we broke this trend. Just another example. Trend, support, boom, we broke it. We never really tested this again. Trend turned into resistance. Resistance was never seen again. That was the higher one, though. We saw Bitcoin test that. But let's go back into Bitcoin. I'm probably going to go through a few of your coins. What else? Yeah, take profits, guys. Take your goddamn profits, right? All right, so yeah, we saw this cross, guys. Expect to pull down, right? Just expect to pull down. Rather prepare for the most probable situation than prepare for the hopium situation, right? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right? And the worst, you guys can still be profitable off of with the right strategies that we do on this channel, with the right mindsets, with reading the books, which I'll actually do tutorial videos. But look at large drop, probably going to be a large drop, right? So I think I'm going to wrap up the video there, make it a little bit shorter, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Just we'll be posting some videos. We'll probably be streaming as well. But we are looking a little bearish, right? We saw the confirmation. Now time to wait. Hopefully you guys have a great one.